Welcome everyone to Bulletproof Print on Demand. I thought it was a cool name, and it kind of makes sense with what just happened with, good old Gear Bubble closing their doors. We want to make sure that we can bulletproof our businesses. So just before I dive in here, first things first, as always, can you hear me and can you see my screen? Just give me a one in the old chat box if you're good to go, and as well, where are you located? So type your location in the chat box now, please. And one, no screen. Yes. Okay. No screen. Refresh? I'm not sure. We got a lot of people that can see and hear me okay. And yeah, let me know, where were you when you found out Gear Bubble was closing? Let me know that too. Okay, good. You got to sort out. I'll tell you while you guys are typing your answers there. I was sitting poolside at the Airbnb house that we had in Florida for the week, and I was checking my phone and got the old email, and I was like, huh, that's very odd. So halfway through my vacation, I got the notification that, oh, by the way, Gear Bubble is shutting down. And I was like, well, crap. My first thought was, okay, there's going to be a lot of people that have to deal with this, and that's going to hurt a lot of businesses. But then I thought, okay, this is actually okay because now we have an opportunity here to expand and maybe go with some other routes that I had already been doing and help people. So when one door closes, another always opens, and I'm kind of happy. I only got one hater email on that whole thing so far. Not even own the company, so I feel bad for the people who do. But if you lost money with them too, I definitely feel bad for you. But hopefully there are ways that you can rectify that. So we're going to go through this. We got Ventura, California, right on. Georgia, I just drove through Georgia. Texas, right on. Sipping your morning coffee, wonderful. British Columbia, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I miss Florida. It was 31 degrees Celsius there. And last night it went down to, I believe, minus 20 here in London, Ontario. It is cold. I missed the sun. That was fun. All right, let's dive in. So, again, thank you for coming on. I do have a lot of stuff to show you, and I think it's very timely because we're talking about bulletproof, and we want to make sure that our businesses are bulletproof. So if things do happen that are beyond our control, we can recover and still prosper and really not skip a beat. And that's kind of what we're doing. So I guess we should define that first. Like, what the heck does bulletproof even mean? Well, it means resist bullets from penetration, right? Like a bulletproof vest. If enough bullets hit it, it's still going to hurt you. But if like one or two hit you in a bulletproof vest, you're going to survive. You might be knocked, have the wind knocked out of you temporarily, but you will survive. So that's what we want to do with our businesses too. We want to put some kind of protective layer around our business so that we can survive anything. And so, I mean, bulletproof vest is not what I'm talking about at all, but just to give you that kind of analogy, bulletproof print on demand means making your business as strong as possible. That's what we want to do. That way, nothing will hurt your business. Okay, nothing, and I do mean nothing. So what are we going to cover? Basically, three things. Number one is 10 reasons that you absolutely need to bulletproof your business, and we know the main one, which is a company can close. But number two is three steps you need to take now, like right now, and number three is how to do this. So your turn to do something. So who's this for? Basically, the following people. Um, just because a company closes doesn't erase some of the core issues that a lot of people are having, like people who are not getting any sales, which means they're not happy. And if it's weird, as soon as a sale comes in on my store, um, I automatically get that dopamine hit and I'm pretty happy. And when I go for like a couple hours without a sale, or if I go for a day without a sale, oh my God, I'm grumpy. And I'm like, I'm actually addicted to sales. Like I told my wife that. She's like, yeah, I knew that. Or it's for people who just had a company go under, or people who feel like you're spinning their wheels. People are sick and tired of just being sick and tired, and they just want to have a solid print-on-demand business with consistent results. I mean, that's what we are all here for, right? This isn't for people though who are negative, finger pointers, quitters, bad attitudes, all around unpleasant people. I posted the email response I got from one lovely fella in my group coaching programs, just so people could see what like just how nasty some people are. Um, and I have no use for people like that. I didn't even respond to the goofball, but it does affect you. Like it does. It absolutely does. So you're here. So I'm sure this is for you. And if you do stay until the end, of course I have something for you. But before we begin, just let me introduce myself because there are a lot of people in here who are new to my universe, and they came in through maybe a free course that I offered or something on a Facebook ad or something like that. So my name's Will. I've sold over 7 figures in the print on demand world and counting. I've made over 7 figures with my courses, coaching, and membership sites. And I work at home. I'm in my office at the front of my house right now. I'm old and currently 40 now. Now I do have people who are like in their 60s and 70s. They're like, that's not old. I'm like, okay, I'm older than somebody who's under 49. I'm stubborn. Ask my wife. And I love, love, love being an online entrepreneur. I really love helping people succeed. I'm lucky. Okay. And I'm lucky because of this one very basic thing. I get to drive my kids to school and pick them up every day. I actually like that. And I've been doing that for all 5 of them since they were little, since kindergarten. And that's kind of my thing. I really enjoy it. I get to talk to them on the way there. I get to talk to them on the way back, and they know dad's coming to get them, so they don't have to walk or take the bus. And for me, it's a big thing because when I was little, I used to have to walk and take and ride my bike. I wasn't outside the bus boundary. Anyway, enough about me. I think you get the gist. A better topic is to talk about you. Have you made any money in your print on demand business? And are you happy with your print on demand business? Are you stuck? Is something holding you back from profits? Do you have a plan? I would wager most do not. And in fact, business plans are important, and a lot of people just kind of wing it. First, you're not alone. Second, don't give up. There's hope. And third, it took basically 10,000 attempts to create the light bulb, right? So imagine the poor guy quit at like 9,999. Then we'd have no lights. Well, I'm sure somebody else would come along, but maybe you are 1 or 2 tweaks away from having consistent sales. Maybe you've been looking at things the wrong way. It's not your fault. A lot of training out there is outdated. Things change. As we know, companies close, but you need to keep moving forward. You need to learn from past mistakes so you can bulletproof your business. You have options and so many paths that you can take. Which one is best? Well, that depends on you and your preferences. Lack of sales can be very frustrating. You can change that and start getting consistent sales if you follow a system. The best system is based on years of experience and results. If you don't have either, you can use mine. The point is, do not give up on your dream. Your dream is your goal, and your goal is what keeps you going. Goals are good. We all have them. What's yours? So type yours in the chat box now. What monetary dollar amount every month would make you happy? What is the level that you need to get to say, I made it, I'm good, this is awesome, I'm good to go? Let me know in the chat box that number. It could be 1,000, it could be 5,000, it could be 10,000. There's usually somebody who says like 100,000. There are some really big sellers out there, and a lot of them are very quiet because they just kind of do their thing and they're happy with that. And I actually respect that a lot. So let's see. We have, oh, there's 76 young, yes. 5K, minimum 10K per month in profit. 500,000, I feel like I make it. What? That is amazing. You just beat the 100,000 guy. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 5,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 2 to 5, 6,000, 7,364. Okay, I'm not even going to ask why that number came up. So we have a wide range here, which is good. Everybody's different, right? So here's my goal for you. So I want you to have a bulletproof business that can survive anything that's thrown at it and profit. That's my goal. The point is, without those goals, without those dollar amounts, we would all struggle to keep going. So curveballs will be thrown at you constantly, but you keep going because you have a goal. So why tell you all this? You need something to keep you going too. Bad days are going to happen. Those goals give you something to focus on. You can feel sorry for yourself and wallow in self-pity, or you can change anything you want in your life, which is why you're here. Maybe you've tried and failed, and that's why I put together the Bulletproof Print on Demand Bootcamp. More on that later. Let's get into the training now. So let's dive in. I can't wait. Number one, I put together 10 reasons that you need to bulletproof your business. And I think when I was putting these together too, I was like, that was me, that was me, that was me, that was me. And then I figured out, you know what? I got to make these changes. And this was a couple of years ago, and it's actually worked. So now I am actually profiting and making money and happy with everything. So, number one, the reason that you want to bulletproof your system, your business is inconsistent sales are really annoying. So, The thing is, one-off sales are great and impulse buys are great, but then nothing else happens. Like you got a customer, but now what do you do with them, right? So that can be fixed, but it means thinking a little bit outside of the box in order to get repeat customers and get them coming back and buying more and increasing your average order value and doing all those great things that will actually put more money in your pocket. So inconsistent sales typically come from that old school strategy of running like an ad to an impulse buy, and that's it. And then there's no retargeting, there's no email list, there's no anything following up. Um, it's easier to sell something to somebody who knows you, like an existing customer, than to go out and find a new customer. Like, and it's also a lot cheaper. So number two, ad costs are really high, and you lose or you barely break even. And this goes back to kind of going for the jugular with an impulse buy. It's not easy anymore. It's still possible, but it's not easy. The profit margins are very slim, especially if you're selling something like a T-shirt. The margins are like probably 10%, 15% if you're lucky. If you can get them to buy more than one at once, then your margins go up. But yeah, selling those things with low cost products with very little margin is not easy, and the impulse buy way is definitely not easy. So, I mean, you need to use ads in a better way that gets you multiple results instead of just one result. Okay, so think about that. Number three, you've got a store, and you've loaded it up with, you know, I don't know, some people do like hundreds, thousands of products even, and it's a ghost town. And they're like, you know what? I took my store and I posted on Facebook and I posted on all the social media like Pinterest and TikTok and YouTube and wherever else, Snapchat. I don't know if you post there, but um, organic sales are dead. I'm sorry, but I know Etsy sellers refuse to accept this, but it's 100% true. Just because you build it, it doesn't mean that they're going to come. So the buyers are not going to come. And trying to do the social media marketing where you just post stuff on social, it's harder than ever now because all those companies like Facebook want you to pay to reach their audience. They don't really give that organic reach, not even close to as much as they used to even 5 years ago. So it's true, like you need to market your products with way more than simply posting on social media where that reach is dead. I actually have Facebook groups that years ago they were thriving and doing really well, and you can make a post and it would go out to like 6,000 people in the group or 10,000 people in the group. Now it goes out to like maybe 50 out of the 6,000. Even when you post on other people's group, if you post a link in there, Facebook is not sharing it because they do not want you to leave their platform. They want you to stay there. So the whole old school way of like, okay, I'm going to get a lot of social media traffic to like my Etsy shop or my Shopify store. It just doesn't work as well anymore. And I'm sure you've felt that pain too. So number four is the worst one. It could have actually been number one. Suppliers close or they mess up deliveries. So if you have stores and you use like Gear Bubble, they just closed and they were messing up deliveries before that, which was not fun. You cannot survive if customers are not happy with you. In fact, if you're on Etsy and your deliveries are late or they're taking too long, you're going to get horrible reviews, which will tank your store and you'll probably get chargebacks too. On Shopify, it's a little bit easier to handle because you can, in a way, control the reviews if you have a review app on your Shopify store. But man, I feel for those Etsy sellers that had all those late deliveries or no deliveries, and now the buyers on Etsy are leaving horrible reviews, and it's actually destroying Etsy stores when that happens because, and that's no fault of your own. It's just the supplier went under, and that can happen. And so we need to prepare for that and be ready for that, so that if it happens again, which it could, you can make a seamless switch to another supplier. So number five is this: you're having trouble competing with established brands selling the same products, especially this is really bad on Etsy. Some places on Etsy even sell at a loss, and you've seen it where they're selling a mug for like $7, and the mug costs you like $8 to print it, and then like what $5, $7 to ship it, and they're selling it for like seven. And you go, well, how'd they do that? Did they buy a big container from China, and are they printing it at home? Even with that route, they're still losing money. I I personally feel it's like a loss leader, and it's hard to compete with those when they're selling at a loss, especially when you're like, I'm not in business to lose money. I'm not in a position to have my whole store just full of lost leaders. That's not a good way to do it. So um, that is fixable too, especially on Shopify, where you're not going to be competing in that race to the bottom on price like you have to on Etsy. So it can happen and it can work well. But let's move on to number 6. People come to your store, but they don't buy. So this is an issue where your store is just set up wrong. No one trusts it, so they leave without buying. And it can be a few simple tweaks, but the number one thing is make sure that when you're actually working on your store, that you optimize it for mobile, for a phone. So you want to look at your store as if somebody's looking at it on a phone. And this is what I see way too often, where they'll have it looks great on desktop. Like they have a wonderful banner going across and it looks so cool. And then you look at that on the phone and the whole front screen on your phone is like that banner image. And so people land on the page and go, what the heck is this? And they just leave right away. You want to make sure you're optimizing for sales. And it's more than that too. There is conversion rate optimization, which matters a lot more than you think. And this could be things like trust seals and guarantees and refund policies and everything up front. Putting phone numbers on your store can help enormously. And now, if you don't want to give away your phone number, you can buy like 1-800 numbers very easily. But increasing the trust factor on your store can go a long way. Places like Etsy have a built-in trust factor because of the domain, but when you're on Shopify, it's your own brand and your own domain, so you have to take a little bit extra steps to build up that trust factor. So conversion rate optimization totally matters, and it's very important. Number 7 is, and I found a lot of people struggle with this, you have no email list and you don't retarget anyone. So this goes back to the one-off sale issue. It has to be fixed or you won't survive. And I know a lot of people are like, look, Will, I'm not an email marketer. I'm not a retargeting master with ads. I just want to sell my products. I just want to do that. I don't really want to do the marketing side at all. I'd rather just list stuff because then I feel like I accomplished something. But in reality, you did half the job. The actually the bigger half is marketing. Like creating the product and listing it is one thing, but actually getting people to look at it is more important than just listing product after product after product after product. So you need ways to get people to look at your products multiple times, and email is the answer, and so is retargeting. And when I'm helping people like one-on-one too, and I look at their ad campaigns, it's 9 times out of 10 it is 100% ad to impulse buy, like add to product, add to product, add to product. I'm like, okay, how big's your email list? They're like, what? I don't have an email list. Like, okay, well, let's look at your retargeting campaigns. What are those? And it's like, well, there you go. So let's fix that and we'll fix your store right away and get you making money. Reason number 8 is you don't know what to sell or how to find winning ideas for your business. Guessing does not work. So, and I see this a lot too, where the solution, especially on Etsy, is just list more. It's like, no, no, don't do that. If you think about it like a gold mine, and the gold miners don't just get claims and randomly um, mine it. They don't strip off overburden and then get down to bedrock and then run stuff through their wash plant. They actually drill their entire claim and they get samples of where the gold is, and that's where they go. They don't go to the spots where there's no gold. They go to the spots where there is gold. And this too relates back to, you know, some advice that you get online is, well, look for keywords, like say on Etsy, that have low competition and high search volume. That doesn't exist. If it's got high search volume, it's got high competition. And if it has competition, it has competition for a reason. It's because people are making money with that search term. So that is where you want to go. You don't want to go off to the area, if you have a gold mine, where there's no gold. You want to go to the area where there is gold. So that means competing. And that means making a product that is as attractive or more attractive than your competition. And that's one major reason that people fail is they're scared to compete. They think, well, if that guy's been there forever making money, I don't want to compete with him. I want to go and find my own little niche in my own little corner of the internet that nobody online before me has ever found. It doesn't exist. Okay. Go compete. You'll be far better off. So don't guess. You have to do that with your business too. All right. Reason number 9, you really don't know where to begin. So you want a business, but you take the easiest route possible and you don't get results, and then you wonder why. So sometimes the harder route is the best one. And what I'm talking about is like platforms that you're using. So if you're on Etsy, that's cool. It does work. It just takes years and years and years to get going. If you're on Amazon, it definitely works, but you're going to make peanuts and you're going to get copied. So there's downsides to all these places. If you go with your own brand on a place like Shopify, now you're cooking. It's harder in the sense that, okay, I have to build my store, I have to connect apps to my store to fulfill my products, and then I have to market it. Remember, you're a business owner. And if you're a business owner that doesn't want to market, you're not a business owner. You're a hobbyist and you're not going to make any money at this at all. So you might spend a year or two trying, but you're going to fail. It's the guaranteed way to fail is don't market your business ever. And I am guilty of this myself. Even with my one coaching site, PPC Coach, for years, I didn't market it. I got lazy and I just sat back and I was like, you know what, I'm pretty happy with this. But there's a thing called churn. So new members come in and members leave, but if you don't replace the new ones, the ones who left with new ones, then the business struggles. It's the same with print on demand. If you don't market your business, you will fail. So Etsy draws you in with that. Uh, we have 90 million plus buyers on our site. Just list and you'll make sales. And you're like, oh, that sounds amazing. I don't have to market. They're going to do it for me. You get in there and then you realize, wait a minute, they're not marketing for me. They're giving all the traffic to the old established brands that are on their site. So for you to get to the old established phase, it takes years, years and years and years of making nothing. But I mean, Etsy's still making their fees, so they're happy. Anyway, the harder route is usually the best one. It's hard for a reason. Okay. Number 10, this is something that I've done this too, but quite simply, you're kidding yourself. You feel like you're doing everything right, but you're still not making money. So you're not alone. A lot of people are in your shoes. It's not fun at all, but don't kid yourself. If you're at something for like 3 months and you're not making a penny, stop kidding yourself. Okay, stop lying to yourself. Make a change. Do something different. Whatever it may be, just do something different to try and get a different results because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. If all you're doing is listing products and you're not making sales, you have to switch things up. You have to do something different in order to actually make sales. So I know people don't like that because that involves the hard way or harder way, but it's 100% necessary. All right. Conclusion is this. Those 10 reasons, and there's probably a lot more, could be stopping you from success. So the solution, I'm glad you asked, is in the second part. So let's move on to the second part now, which is number 2, 3 steps. These are 3 steps that you need to take now in order to help you actually make money and actually prepare for change and be ready for it and bulletproof your business. So step number 1 is this: build a hybrid store that stands out. Okay, now what do I mean? I mean stop relying on generic products. Instead, combine things like digital and print on demand products. So that 1-2 punch can turn your entire business around. If you want an example, let's say that you sell pickleball shirts. I know somebody who does, me. So what could I do on the digital side? Well, instead of course I have t-shirts and I have paddles right now and I have jewelry on my store and I'm adding in mugs and hoodies and metal art and stickers and all that good stuff. But on the digital product side, what can I also offer? Well, I can offer guides. I can offer rule books, which a lot of new people who are new to pickleball, they kind of want a little rule book that they can print out and bring, or they can read through because they don't know the rules. How-to manuals work well. How to win, how to do this drop shot, how to do where to positioning guides, stuff like that. Anything to do with how to get better at the sport, or what equipment you need, or um, top 10 paddles you should buy, that kind of thing that you can actually use as a digital product to either give away or sell. And then think about it. Once you do that, you're now in that pickleball niche and you already have products, physical products. It is so much easier to sell them a t-shirt, a pickleball t-shirt, if they got a guide from you. Say I put together a rule book on like 2025 pickleball rules, free download. click here. Boom, they do it. They're on my list. Thanks. Here you go. Here's a guide. The next day, oh, we also sell this. This is our best-selling T-shirt. You might want to check it out. Link to buy now in the email. Boom, done. And I just continue that. And what I've done is I've now gone from, I've exited the impulse buy phase and I've gone into building a brand and building a real business and making it bulletproof. So now people don't just see an ad on Facebook, go and buy something and that's it. I never hear from them again. It's like I'm nurturing them with that free guide. I'm giving something of value away up front. And in return, I'm hoping to sell them something later. And this works. This works in print on demand. This works in all the other businesses that exist online. This way works very, very, very well. And a lot of people don't do it because it's a little bit harder and involves a little bit more work. But this thing that you're seeing on your screen is what I'll be doing in the bootcamp too. So I want you to become a brand in your niche instead of just being another store that sells t-shirts. So after you become the brand, after you have that built up, you're going to sell people products. And it's not just physical. We can also sell them digital. And think about that too. If you're in a niche where, say it's Highland cows is your niche, think of what you can do with that. You could be selling like packages of PNG files for Highland cows, and that kind of crafty people would take and download from you and then print onto their own products that they could do that. They might also be buying like a Highland Cow sweatshirt from you or a hoodie or a coffee mug or something like that. So think of this hybrid model as a really cool way to do things that other print on demand sellers are not doing. Like the typical print on demand seller now is like, I'm going to sell t-shirts on my store and that's it. And then their profit margins are so tiny that they think of giving up. Instead, think outside the box. Think of ways that you can expand. Think of doing things that other people are not doing, not en masse anyway. Now, using AI, that's going to help you make them all. If I want to make a rule book for pickleball, you think I'm going to go research all the rules? Uh-uh. AI is going to write that guide for me. And I could get to 50 to 100 pages very easily, put it into a Google Doc, download it as a PDF, put it in my system to get people to buy it, have a landing page where they enter their email, and then have a thank you page where they can get the delivery, or I can just start sending emails out to them. It's so easy to do, right? It's amazing. So don't be just, another t-shirt seller. Be more. All right, step number 2 is that build an email list and create repeat buyers. Okay, too many sellers skip this, and you must have an email list in your niche. Period. There's no two ways about it. If you have a business online and you don't have an email list, you don't have a business online. You don't. If a supplier shuts down, your email list is there to protect you. And think of that. Okay. Now, if you're on Etsy and Etsy decides to close your store, what do? You're right back to square one. You're starting from zero. That is scary. That's very scary. If you have an email list in your niche and Etsy shuts you down, you could easily open up a Shopify store and say, hey, we're over here now. And let your email list know those are all buyers. And say, grand opening special, 25% off everything in the store. Thank you for being a buyer. Thank you for dealing with us in the past. Boom, your email list just saved you. Not only that, you can use that thing every single day. You can send out campaigns. You can schedule auto sequences. You can do so much with your email to make you money. If you think about it too, when you're running ads to like say sell a t-shirt, those ads cost money and it eats into your profit. When you've already got them on your email list and you fire out an email, well, all you're really paying for is the email software once a month. Okay, that's awesome. And it's really cool. That's a cool way to do it. The money is in the list. That has never changed, never will. Print on demand business, any type of business. The software used, there are free ones. And there are all-in-one softwares that you can use, that I use, that I love. And I wish they were around a long time ago. So most sellers prefer to like chase new customers constantly. Smart sellers build a list once and sell to it over and over and over again. You are a smart seller because you're here. All right, let's move on to step number 3. Using ads. Use ads to do more than sell t-shirts on impulse. Please, please use ads for more. The unsafe method is this, add to product. And that's what everybody does. and it works. It's so hard, and the profit margins are so low, and the profit margins shrank as soon as we started giving the ad platforms all of our revenue data. So Facebook knows exactly what your profit is on a t-shirt, and they know exactly what they can charge you to keep you interested. If we didn't give them that data, they would never have it, and our ad costs would probably be a lot lower than they are now. So, I mean, they did it because they wanted to consolidate all of the reporting into one dashboard as an attractive feature for advertisers. We screwed up in giving it to them. We should never have given them our data. Can you imagine going to a grocery store and buying a can of corn and knowing what the grocery store paid for that can of corn because they put it on the shelf? They're like, okay, can of corn, $2. Our price, 25 cents. We marked it up $1.75. So now it's $2 to you. Imagine seeing that. No business would do that. We did it though with Facebook. We told them what we're making. So they know exactly how much they can charge us. It sucks. The safe method is this: an ad to an email list to multiple products over time. And when I say multiple, I'm talking not just physical, but we can also get into digital too. What's easier to sell? A physical product that takes time to get there, or a digital product that they get instantly, or a free digital product to build up your list? That's the best way. Front end offers get people on your list and build up your retargeting audience too. So now when you're running ads and you're like, I don't want to run ads to cold traffic. Instead, I want to run ads to people who have been to my store at some point in time, whether they bought or not. Those people have actually seen your brand and they're more willing to whip out the credit card and buy something. So we're not only going to build up an email list, but we're going to build up a retargeting audience on places like Facebook. So you get paid to build that list and the audience with ads and front end offers. That's possible. The key to bulletproofing is never relying on ads only to make sales. If you do, your business will come and go as your as your ad costs go up and up and up. If you think about it too, Black Friday, Cyber Monday comes around once a year. Do you know how expensive it is to run ads on those for that week or two or three prior to Black Friday, Cyber Monday? It's ridiculous. Now, if you instead focused on building up your email list so that you could run your Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale to your email list, you're going to be far better off. All right, make the shift. Make the shift to turn every visitor into a long-term buyer and a repeat buyer instead. Become a real business, not some fly-by-night one-trick pony. Okay? Those 3 steps can seriously change your business. Let's move on to the third thing, which is vital now, and that's the next step. So you do have multiple options. You know the 3 steps to creating an amazing business that is more than just selling t-shirts. I like t-shirts. I still sell them, but I do more than that. Let's build your brand with digital and print-on-demand products so you can finally make some damn money at this. And so you can handle the company closing, your bubble, or losing your store account, Etsy, or losing an ad account, Facebook. I've had all of this happen to me, right? Become bulletproof. Change will 100% happen. Prepare for it now. There are 3 guarantees in life: death, taxes, and change. Change is going to happen. Things will never not be the same forever. They might be the same for a while, but they won't be the same forever. You have to prepare now. So let's finish this off and then I'll get to my offer for you. So the reality check is it's not really a super simple thing that we're talking about. Remember, we talked about the easy route and the hard route. So there's lots of moving parts. It can be complicated to figure out. You do need a couple things before you can even start, which is like a system to follow. You want to build out that hybrid store, build an email list, use ads for more than one purpose. You need motivation, guidance, training, coaching, and the most up-to-date methods, of course. So how do you do this? Well, you have 2 options: the easy way and the hard way. The easy way is from point A to point B in a straight line. The hard way, as you can see, the red line is a lot longer because it takes longer because you adjust and adapt and learn, and eventually you get there. It just takes a lot longer. The hard way, go for it on your own. So you can go to YouTube, and right now you can search for like hybrid POD store. You could search for like how to bulletproof your business, that kind of stuff. Now there's not really anything on it. You'll get different opinions, different styles, outdated methods, shifty people, tons of ways. Then you go try each one on your own, right? Now you've got something. It's not the solution, but it's something called that annoying information overload. You have so many options that you don't know where to start, which typically leads to overthinking and overanalyzing, right? So you do nothing, you go back to square one. That route stinks. I don't suggest it for anyone. Instead, take the easy route, right? So learn from someone who's an experienced expert. Let's go back to 2005 for a second. I'll show you what I did. I hated my job. I was working at TD Ameritrade. Prior to that, I was a financial advisor, but I took the night shift so I could search the internet because people don't call in for stock and option and mutual fund trades during the night shift. So I found a mentor. He taught me all about my first business, which was generating secured loan leads online, selling them to banks and loan companies in the UK. Without him, I'd probably still be at that 9 to 5 job. The thing is, that business went under in 2007 in a period of about 3 weeks because the credit crisis hit worldwide. So all these leads that I had were typically bad credit leads, but loan companies were giving them money. After that, after the credit crisis hit in 2007, it wiped out my business. I had to adjust. So I've been through this multiple times. Things closing, things changing, it sucks. If you want faster results and you want to avoid costly mistakes, if you want accountability and you want motivation, if you want personalized advice and unique proven strategies, if you want to bulletproof things and be ready for anything, I can provide all that by giving you the easy route. Which brings me to my offer to you. So at the beginning, I mentioned that Bulletproof Print on Demand Bootcamp, and that's what my offer is. It's a way to bulletproof your business and profit in a unique way that others do not do. Do you think you can do this? So far, we've covered the 10 reasons, 3 steps, and what to do next. Well, we're about to cover what to do next. So my question is, do you want to take it to the next level? So introducing the Bulletproof Print on Demand Bootcamp. The info and the methods I've shown today only scratch the surface, not even a dent. The Bulletproof Print on Demand Bootcamp is all about this. Step 1, building a hybrid store that stands out. Step 2, building an email list to create repeat buyers and retargeting. And step 3, use profitable ads that pay for themselves, teaching you to get you profitable and bulletproof your business just in case an ad account goes down, just in case Etsy bans your store, just in case Etsy puts you in a payment reserve, just in case a company you use freaking closes on you when you're on vacation in Florida. We'll bulletproof that. So next time it happens, you'll be like, okay, I know exactly what to do. I'm good. What is it though? It's 3 live training sessions and the support you need to succeed. Sound pretty sweet? I think it is. I want to make sure you've got everything you need to profit. I cannot wait for the day you tell me, Will, I got my first sale, or Will, I got my 100th sale, or Will, I got my 1,000th sale. When that happens, I'll be the happiest coach on the planet. So warning though, this is not for everyone. If you're not interested, you can turn this off now. If you are interested, stick around for a minute while I finish this off. So what you get with this Bulletproof Print on Demand Bootcamp is you get my coaching, 17 plus years experience, over 1.5 million in sales, over a million in coaching. I use AI daily in my business. I'm already getting free traffic. I already have email lists. I have Etsy shop, Shopify stores. I sell on Amazon. I don't really sell on Amazon anymore. I sell on other t-shirt marketplaces. I can handle any tech issue you encounter. I'll get you profitable. I'll get you bulletproof. So what you get in the live training sessions are 3 live training sessions, 1 week apart, gives you time to complete each step in between. Replays are available if you can't make it live. You can ask questions, get answers, and you will succeed. That's the training side. I have some cool bonuses for you too. We need a way to interact. So bonus number 1 is the dedicated support group, of course, and that is on Facebook in a private group, available 24/7. You can post questions, get answers, network with others, like-minded people like yourself. Awesome way to get support. And we need support now more than ever because there's a lot of migration going on from our old supplier to new suppliers. And I do have training on that available too. So you get training and support. Does that sound pretty good? I think so. Total value right now is $1,994 for those 2 things. But that's not all. I do have another huge bonus for you. So I do have a tiny test method, which uses Facebook ads and small daily budgets to sell print on demand products. It's a 1-hour training over my shoulder in detail, and it's yours as a bonus. So this is using small daily budgets, like $5 per day for each one, to find winners on your store, plus automated rules to manage your campaigns. I've never released this. It's brand new, and it's yours. And it's an hour-long training. That alone will get you going with Facebook ads, get you comfortable, get you testing, and then we'll move into other ways to use Facebook ads too after that. So what you're going to get is the boot camp, the support group, the tiny test method for a total value of $2,491. And I'm not done though. I've got more bonuses for you. So do you want free traffic as well? I know I mentioned like social media free traffic is not there anymore, but free traffic does still exist. It takes a little longer, but it's free. And I put together an AI free traffic bootcamp that I've already ran, and I'll include that in this offer as bonus number 3. So it's 3+ hours of training, all about getting free traffic to your store. And I'm talking about like when somebody goes to Google and they type in keywords and your site shows up. That's what we're talking about here. So it's not social media traffic, it's search engine traffic. Takes a little longer, but once it starts, it's very nice. In fact, I've got sales on my pickleball store, which you'll see from DuckDuckGo, and because when you can look at the order and you can see where the conversion came from, and I have more than one sale that came from DuckDuckGo. So they actually index my site and they index some articles on my site, and people went there and they bought stuff, and it's amazing. So I'm going to include that too with your offer. It's not just Google, but Google is, I mean, obviously the king of all SEO traffic, but there are other smaller search engines too out there that you will get traffic from. So we've got that, the boot camp, the group, the method, the other boot camp that you get up front. So $3,488 for that, and that is using AI to basically do all the heavy lifting in that AI free traffic boot camp. So AI is of course going to be used, and I'm like, you know what? I put together 250 of my favorite AI prompts, and they're yours too as bonus number 4. So that is 250 prompts, perfect for print on demand designs. Copy and paste them into your favorite AI software. Midjourney is my current favorite still. It has been for a long time. I pay like, I think $33 a month for it. There are so many new up and comers that you could plug these prompts into. You could even plug them into Canva if you want. Canva has an AI. Photoshop has an AI. Um, Chat GPT has an AI. I don't think DeepSeek can do images yet, but there are other free image generators too that you can use these prompts with. So the boot camp, the group, the method, the other boot camp, and then 250 AI prompts for a total value of $3,685. And then I thought, you know what? How about one more? So this is where we get personalized to you specifically, and this is a recorded store review. I don't care what platform you're on. I'll review your store and send it to you, video with the good, the bad, and the ugly. Nobody else will see that video except you and me. It's 100% private. But what this will do is you send me the link, you send me any questions you have about your store, about your business, whatever. I'll review your store. I'll give you tips. Okay, I'll tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly, and that will get you more sales. I've reviewed a lot of stores over the years, and I can spot things pretty quickly. So it could be things like, you know what, that add to cart button should be this color, or it could be your checkout page doesn't have your logo up top, or it could be simple things like the color of your site is hurting my eyes, or that banner looks awful on mobile, get rid of it, or these products are just not there. If we look at your competitors in your niches, and everybody's different, we can tell what's going to sell and what's not going to sell. If you have best sellers and you haven't taken advantage of that, I'll be telling you that too. Like you need to double and triple down on the stuff that's working. So that personal store review is something I haven't really offered much before because it does take a lot of my time to put together. I'm not just going to go, oh, that's your store, that's cool, oh, that's pretty. No, I'm going to give you some. I'll be polite, but I'm not going to skip anything. Put it that way. So you get the live boot camp, the group, the method, the other boot camp recorded, already done, 250 AI prompts, and a personal store review for me. So now we're up to $4,682. I should charge that for that, but I'm not. I had a choice to make. First option was to sell this for cheap, get more people going, get more people bulletproof. Second is charge more, limited to fewer people. I went with option one. So this is for everyone. $997 is the price for all this. But wait, since I want you to do this, of course, I'm going to offer this at 70% off. So $299.10. The link is in the bottom right now, www.printondemandcoach.com/BPOD, which is Bulletproof Print on Demand. So the warning is this. That's for the first 50 people only. I'm capping it at that. Once 50 join, that deal's over. So 70% off is for a limited time. Link is at the bottom right of the screen now, and it'll stay there. You're going to get everything you need to bulletproof your print-on-demand business, turn things around if they're not going for you correctly, especially after the hit a lot of people just took with Gear Bubble closing. Don't think other companies can't close too, because they can, and they will. So anytime you're with a supplier that's like an individual supplier, you run that risk. And if you're building a business around an individual supplier who only sells like a few products, that's a big risk too. You want to make sure you're with a supplier where you can like automatically reroute orders if you need to, or you can find backup suppliers very easily and not have to change much on your store. So if you want to be profitable, you do have two options at this point. Do it alone is option number one, of course. So you can try to reverse engineer everything you just saw. You might get confused, get overloaded, overthink it, second guess yourself, waste time, waste energy, and struggle. Eventually, you'll get there. Or option two, get this amazing deal. So we've got the boot camp, the support group, the method, the AI free traffic bootcamp, 250 AI prompts, and then a personal story review from me. So which option do you prefer? I think it's a complete no-brainer, but I want you to be ready for anything. So let me teach you how to bulletproof your print-on-demand business. So next time, in my case, I'm in Florida, and I'm thinking like, oh man, panic mode. That company just closed. This hurts a lot of my business. Crap, what do I do? And then I realized, I took a breath and I said, you know what? You've been through this before. We can handle this. And in fact, instead of thinking of that as a negative, even though even I lost some money when they closed, it can actually be turned into a positive. So when one door closes, another opens, and be ready for anything. Is that a lot of money? Not for the massive amount of training and support you're going to get. I do have a goal to get you profitable with a business that can withstand anything thrown at it. Okay, if a supplier goes down, you're covered. Ad account goes down, you're covered. Um, Store gets suspended, you're covered. Anything. All right. I'm giving you everything to get you there. You can try this alone. Some of you will. This is for the ones that want to skip the school of hard knocks. And that's actually where I got my PhD. Who am I to teach you? An experienced expert who has been through failed businesses in the past 18 years online. So this ain't my first rodeo. I've done this before, and I know the emotions run high when things happen, when things shut down, or when you get suspended, or where you lose an ad account. I know. I've been through it all, and I've survived and thrived. So that's what I'm going to pass on to you. Companies closing, yep, been through that. Economy changing, 100% been through that, and it cost me my first business. Losing ad accounts, been through that, and I've recovered. Change will happen. Be ready for it ahead of time. That's the whole point of all this. If you have any questions, fire me an email. What's the difference between now and later? Well, now you might be struggling, and later you won't be anymore. This is a limited time offer though. Once 50 join, the deal is gone. You don't wait on this. Be in that first 50 people. Now some common questions that I get all the time, then we'll close this off. Number one, what exactly is the Bulletproof Print on Demand Bootcamp? Well, it's 3-week training, teaches you how to build a reliable, scalable print on demand business to get you consistent sales without relying on one-off buyers. You also learn how to combine physical and digital products, build an email list that prints money, and run ads profitably for long-term success. That's the gist. Number two, when does it start? Officially starts Monday at 11, but as soon as you sign up, you'll get immediate access to the bonuses. So you can start preparing and start going through those, and that'll give you enough to chew on while waiting for the live training. How is it structured? It's 3 weeks long, broken down into weekly training modules. Week one, we're going to do build a hybrid store that stands out. Week two, build an email list to create repeat buyers. And week three, use profitable ads that pay for themselves. Basically, we talked about all this in the steps, and we're going to cover them in detail on how to execute them. Each session is recorded, so if you miss one, you can watch it anytime. Number five is live training or pre-recorded. So each week it's live, where you can ask questions in real time. If you can't attend live, don't worry. It's recorded, so you can watch it at your convenience. I will post replays in the group for you. Number six, what happens after I sign up? So you get access to the private support group, instant access to the bonuses, and a welcome post in the group with everything you need to know to get started. Now, what if you have more questions? Contact at printondemandcoach.com. Are you ready? Awesome. Can't wait to get started with you. If you're still on the fence, here's a couple of my favorite testimonials. One from Mandy. I should actually update these with some fresh ones, but I like these. So Mandy says, I've known Will for a few years. I have a couple of his courses. You'll always learn something from him, whether you're at the beginning, intermediate, or advanced stage of your business. He teaches what's working for him now and teaches in a simple, easy to understand way. I was able to implement one of his courses within the first lesson, made my investment back. Oliver, I don't usually make public posts on Facebook, but feel I need to tonight. Will, you could be spending your time making money for yourself instead of creating such a great and insightful content. I truly believe you gently and care and want to help people. You got me started with print on demand back in February. I'm already seeing great success. I've hit several bumps along the way, but just believe in yourself that you can do this and you will. Take care. And then Chris, I've been following Will for nearly 3 years now. To this day, I think he's the best in the business when it comes to coaching print on demand and Facebook ads. Purchased a couple of his courses in the past that have been great. Everything he teaches has been battle tested and proven, so you can trust the strategies that he shares. Definitely follow this guy, you won't regret it. All right, if you want more, you can go there to the PPC Coach site. There's 175 or 200 on there. If you want 3 reasons, here you go. No problem. I'll give you 3 reasons right now that you should get this. Number 1, stop relying on one-off sales. Repeat buyers via email and ads is the best route. Okay. Number 2, combine digital and physical. AI has made this easier than ever to create an amazing hybrid store that can survive anything. Number 3, bulletproof your business. If a company closes, you'll survive. If an account goes down, you'll survive. If your store gets suspended, you'll survive. If Etsy's like, hey, payment reserve time, you'll survive. Okay, you'll survive. And not only that, you'll thrive. Thanks for watching. Now, I can't wait to help you succeed. You're buying something unique, training, support, and some cool bonuses thrown in. If you skip it, I'll call you crazy, but we can part as friends. Don't wait on this offer. It is a limited time only. Let's get you profitable. I will do everything I can to get you there. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate your time. Get in now if you haven't already, and we'll see you inside the group. Now, if there are any questions, I'll take them now. Otherwise, we're going to close this off. I am going to go get some lunch and have and freeze my butt off in there. So let's have a look at what we've got here. Minimum to do. My perspective on search volume versus competition is totally opposite of what Adam has taught most of us. Okay. And everybody has a different way. I just find that in that example of search volume versus competition, think of this. So I make a coffee mug and I'm like, I want to sell 10,000, 20,000 coffee mugs. So what should I put on that coffee mug? Well, if I go with like high search volume, no competition, which doesn't really exist. Let's say I go after high school art teachers in the United States and I make a coffee mug with a funny quote for them. Okay, fine. You're not going to sell 20,000 of those mugs. You might sell like 30. So is it really worth it for you to go after something that has such little long-term possible results? Or would it be better to go after maybe all high school teachers with a funny coffee mug? Because now you're up to like what, 150,000 people instead of like 3,000 people? You know what I mean? Like your market size matters. That's my point. And if you go after tiny markets all the time, you're never going to get any substantial results out of that. You just won't. Like, yeah, you'll sell the odd one here and there, but that's why, like, the occupation route too, I'm not a fan of that at all. I want to go into areas that have gigantic markets that I can sell my products in so that I can scale things. If you go too small with your market, you're never going to make any kind of substantial money with it. You might get the odd one-off sale once every 6 months or so and feel great about that, but that's not why you're in this. You're in this to like maybe replace an income. You're in this maybe as a side hustle to like pay some bills or pay the mortgage, maybe put the kids through university. Whatever your goal is, maybe you want to buy a fancy car, but you're not going to get there if you're going after markets that are too small. So yeah, we disagree on that point, and I think I'm right. He thinks he's right. That's fine. Uh, Disagreements are allowed to happen. I just take the perspective of I want to scale. I don't want to play small. I want to go big. So if I want to go big, I have to go into markets that are big. And the little ones, you can make some sales, but they're not going to be anything to write home about. All right, another question. I do not have a store yet. That's fine. Uh, that's actually, if you haven't done anything yet, um, I think of that as like a clean slate, and there's no bad habits to break. So I do have training available too on like opening stores and how to get that going. And you will see me working in my store. So that'll give you some perspective and some training on, how do I list this product? How do I connect all the dots? How do I run ads to this? How do I get this email list going? How do I do this digital product? All that good stuff is going to help you. And if you haven't done this before, yeah, like I said, it's even better because I don't have to break any bad habits, or I don't have to go through and try and shift any beliefs that are out there now, right? Because you're just like, okay, teach me, let's go. I love that. All right. Other question is, when does it start? Monday. And I'm in Australia. I don't think I can make the live training. Is it still worth it? Yes, it is. So even if you can't make the live training, don't worry about it because you can get in the replays and you can still get support within the group. Okay, question here. What exactly does a personal store review entail? Okay, so it doesn't matter which platform you're on for that. What I'm going to do is go in and look at your store. I'm not going to access the back end if that's what you're asking. I just need the front end. I just need the URL to it, and I'm going to go look through it. And then you can let me know any questions you have, and then I can ask some questions too on like, do you have a bestseller? Which one? Um, niche wise, typically what I see on an Etsy shop is people go generic or a general store, and they'll just throw everything at it and hope that something actually sells. And then when it does sell, then hopefully they go after that niche, but usually they don't. They stay generic. With Shopify, I would suggest having a niche that you're in. It just makes it easier for ads and for your audience and for everything else. So I'll go in, I'll look at the store. If I see anything kind of out of whack, I'll let you know and make suggestions for you. You can take them or you can leave them. But having another set of eyes look at what you're doing can help enormously. And like I said, it's 100% private, so nobody else will see it at all, which is a good thing. All right, question. What about a pet niche Shopify store? The generic pet market is huge, but people want items about their specific breed. Yes, absolutely. For the pet niche, like say a dog store or a cat store, for cats it's easy because the cat breeds are not that much of an issue. But for if you're going into dogs, I would literally go into the breed, and my store would be that breed. Like for me, if I'm in the dog niche, it's black labs because I have a black lab and she's my favorite dog ever. So I would do a black lab store, and I would own the black labs. Now later on, if um, if I wanted to expand, I would just open up another store with another breed within the dog niche. So the dog niche is like the major massive market, but to conquer that niche, you do need to go down into a sub niche, which is the breeds. And you'll be far better off going into the breeds than just trying to open a dog store. Believe me, I've tried. Cats too. Cats, cat owners are very, they're different than the dog owners. Like they do still buy things for their cats. I have a cat too. I love my cat. Um, but like I'll buy like balls for my dog to throw and play fetch with. But for my cat, I mean, what can I really buy her? And I'm not gonna, me personally, I'm not gonna wear a cat shirt, like a t-shirt or anything, saying like I love cats. I don't know. I don't know. It's the breed. I would go to a breed, especially in the dog. Now, if it's another type of animal, say it's a beaver. I don't know. Well, there's your so the main niche is animals, sub niche is beaver, right? Or farm animals. Like you could open up a chicken store, like chicken apparel. That is a niche. There are farmers and stuff that will buy all your stuff, and there are people that love chickens and they'll buy that. One niche I'll give you right now that actually I have plans for is like Bigfoot, like Sasquatch. That's a niche, and those things on print on demand products are poof, they're amazing because they're funny. Even aliens is a niche that you could get into. So there's a take the main one, and if it's like just gigantic, then just go into a sub niche. Um, there's a comment here. So gift sorely is lots of things. Yes, it is, but for gift sorely, my niche is gifts. So for a sub niche, what I will be best off doing is defining my target market for my gifts. So when I have that store, I know it's gifts, but I also know where I'm going to lean towards. And for me, on Gifts Orly, it's going to be leaning more and more towards targeting males to buy gifts for females. So that's kind of the main niche is gifts. The sub niche is like my target market in that case. So that's how you can look at that. With a gift store, it's a little different than a niche down like Black Lab store. So, but if you think about everything I've talked about, and even those two, those are big markets. Like they're not tiny markets. I would never open a high school art teacher store because the market's too small. It's not big enough. And then you get into other products too. Like I know back in the day, there was a shirt, an engineer shirt on Teespring way back, and it sold a bunch. I can't remember what it said. Something about engineering. Don't worry, I'm an engineer, or something like that. And it sold like 10,000 or 20,000 or 50,000 shirts and did really well. But if you look at like how many engineers are there in the world, there's a lot more in that market than there are like high school art teachers. So if you insist on going like the occupation route, don't target people who like teach kids how to juggle. Target like engineers or target accountants. It's got to be big enough to make it worth your while. Otherwise, scaling isn't just not possible. All right. So there's no other questions. I'm going to close it off with that. Uh, how big is big enough? And that is that's a good question. That's for me. That's like how long is a piece of string? Like if you give me a niche that you're thinking of, I would research it and I would look at the size and I would 100% look at the competition too. So how big is big enough? It has to be big enough to have competition already selling in it. Otherwise, I'm not interested. So I am not interested in opening up stores in niches where there's no competition because it just means either the market is too small or people have tried in the past and they haven't made any money in it. So the days of, finding that unicorn of a niche that nobody else is in and you can just own 100% by yourself, it just doesn't exist anymore. It really doesn't. So it's like the niche is a big extra large pizza and everybody gets a slice. So you can just go and take your slice from someone else with good products. Go there instead of going and getting a pizza and opening it up and the box is empty. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyway, I'm going to close with that. I'm starting to lose my voice too. If you're interested, get in there. If you're not, no problem at all. I just want to make sure because of recent events, especially, it really reinforced. I was planning on doing this boot camp for a while, but with the closure of like Gear Bubble, which is a place that's like near and dear to my heart, um, and I know there's a lot of sellers on there that are kind of like, what do I do now? Well, there are options for you. And even if you need help migrating your products to other suppliers, I literally just shot an hour-long training, me doing that in my Shopify store for Gifts Orly, which is my other gift shop. All right. So it does exist. It is possible. And I would suggest too, if you have products that have sold, I would migrate them to a place like Printify would be my choice because there's so many options in there. And they are a middleman where you can reroute your orders to other suppliers very easily without changing anything on your store. But um, say you're on Etsy and you have like 1,000 products on your store and 800 and or say 950 of them have not sold, I wouldn't migrate those products. I would just migrate the 50 that have. I would look at what has sold on your store and I would rebuild or recreate from there based on your best sellers. And that's what I would be filling my store with. And if you notice a pattern, especially on Etsy, but on Shopify too, but if you notice a pattern where you have products that are actually selling and you have a whole bunch of products that aren't selling anything, get rid of the ones that aren't and focus on the ones that are. Um, Even if it means like renaming your store and making it more niche down than it currently is, that can help you big time. And one thing I've noticed on Etsy is the shift is going away from having general stores and it's going into having niche stores in markets that are big enough to support them. So the market's got to be big enough, and to be big enough, it typically means there's competition already in it. So number wise, I can't give you a hard and fast number because it doesn't exist, but I can tell you what I look for. And that niche too, they have to be passionate. They have to be easy to find online. There has to be the ability for me to make at least 7 figures a year in that niche. Otherwise, I'm not interested. Okay. And that if you're going to put all this time and energy into a store, you might as well make it something that has the possibility to scale when you hit on the one or two winning products. Okay. And a lot of stuff you see today too, it's guys that hit like one winning product. That's it. So for them, the best thing they can do is take what it has won and go create more products based on that, or put that same design on more offerings. Like if it was a T-shirt with a design on it that did really well, take that same design, put it on a mug, put it on some tumblers, put it on a candle, put it on a hoodie, put it on a sweatshirt, put it on anything else you can find. Because if they'll buy it on a T-shirt, odds are they'll buy it on all these other things too. All right. All right, my friends. Have a wonderful day. We will see you very soon. To the people already in there, thank you. To the ones coming, take your time, think about it. The doors will be closing basically Sunday at midnight. All right, everybody have a wonderful day, and we will talk to you soon.